We're back in this seat talking about Wrexham Football Club, and today I'm going to be bringing you a preview of our game at home to Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, and we're in the middle of August and it wouldn't be a video without some sort of transfer news. There's plenty of transfer news we're going to be talking about today, 2 potential incomings and 1 big potential outgoing at the club. This is going to be a bumper pack video, so before we get going into today's video, if you're looking for the best Wrexham content, it's coming your way regularly across the board of the 25-26 season as well. I cannot thank you enough for the people that have supported the channel further. It means a lot and it's really helped the channel out over the past 12 months. Like I said, subscribe if you're looking for Wrexham content, and without further ado, let's get previewing our second home game of the season at home to the Owls. It's important to note before we go into this game that I think it's more than football on Saturday, not for Wrexham fans but for Sheffield Wednesday fans. And I think so far this season, the results on the pitch don't really bother the Sheffield Wednesday fans at this given moment, due to obviously the current ownership issues under Defron Chansiri, and I think all they want, Sheffield Wednesday fans, is for their club to have a secured future for the future years ahead. But as the days goes on, as the game goes on and the season goes on, it's looking less and less likely, and times are looking more and more uncertain for the Owls. Looking at this from a Wrexham point of view, we couldn't have really spoken on this any better, because we've been through this situation on 2 separate occasions and we know what it's like to obviously go through this turmoil. We've raised £100,000 to keep the club afloat and to secure our start to the National League season. We went through all the stuff with Mark Gutterman, Alex Hamilton, Jeff Moss, all those horrid names you don't want to think about, and now it's another club in Sheffield Wednesday who have Defron Chansiri, who is single-handedly putting their club through turmoil and putting their club through hell day in, day out. And this is a situation that no club really deserves to be in, and you know, it's just a shame that it is a historical club like Sheffield Wednesday, a historical ground as well in Hillsborough, and it just seems to all be coming to an end, which is really, really bad. And you're looking on Saturday, protests are very likely to happen. They've planned protests, and I think I can speak on behalf of most Wrexham fans by saying they have our full backing on this. A lot of fans are saying they're going to be wearing last season's gold shirts in support of the protest for Sheffield Wednesday, so we wish them all the best of luck in getting the new ownership and forcing this horrible owner in Defron Chansiri out of the football club, because to be honest, people and owners like these have no right to be obviously owning a football club and owning a club that has so much history behind them, so high up the English pyramid, to just completely killing the club, like I said, day by day, not paying the players, not paying the staff. It's just a horrible situation to be in, and let's hope it's one that can get resolved soon. So if we're looking more on the football side now, every game for Wrexham this season is going to be tough, and having watched Sheffield Wednesday's opening game away at Leicester City, we were watching that and I was thinking, it's going to be a tough game. You know, you're looking at the start of the season, everyone's predicting them to go down. Do I think they'll be down there at the end of the season? Yes. But will they go down without a fight? No, they're going to fight for every single point. They're going to play for the badge. Those players that are still at the football club at Sheffield Wednesday, despite not being paid for that long period of time, credit to them, because, you know, they could have easily walked out the club like a lot of other players did. And looking tactically, they set up to a similar formation like us, 5 at the back. So we're going to have to be on our A game going forward, you know, good in front of goal, taking our chances when they come. Having said that, considering they play 5 at the back, they've had the exact same goals against record as we do. 8 goals conceded in the opening 3 games, 2 in the Championship and 1 in the Carabao Cup. So like us, they've had a shaky start at the back, and could this sort of be a high scoring game if both attacks are on their game? I definitely do think we could see goals. Some interesting news regarding Sheffield Wednesday. Goalkeeper Piers Charles has been ruled out through a shoulder injury for the next 8 weeks, meaning they don't have another goalkeeper who's deemed a professional goalkeeper by the EFL. They're putting in a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get an emergency goalkeeper on loan in the next 48 hours before our game. I think Ethan Hovarth was a goalkeeper that was mentioned by the Sheffield Wednesday manager, but they said it's still up in the air whether they will get one in. If unsuccessful, it's very likely that 19-year-old goalkeeper Logan Stretch will most likely start his first professional game in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt. I mean, what a way to make your first appearance, but could this be something that Wrexham are targeting, possibly a young, inexperienced goalkeeper in goal? Yeah, I think it's something we should definitely be looking at. If we're looking on Sheffield Wednesday's player to watch, I think it's very obvious. It's a player I've talked about on the channel before, Barry Bannon. He is the player to watch in my opinion. He will be the player. If Sheffield Wednesday are going to win this game, it's going to come through a chance created by Bannon, a goal from Bannon, a moment of magic from Barry Bannon, because he is that type of player player, the creative spark in the midfield who is going to cause us a couple of problems. He's 35 years old, yes, but he's still got a lot in the tank and he's still a key player for the Owls. And also as well, credit to him because he's a very good player. He could have easily got a good move elsewhere, but he's put pen to paper to secure his future at Sheffield Wednesday despite everything that is going on at the club at the minute. So you've just got to give him a massive round of applause because it's loyalty, which is very hard to find these days. So if we're looking on the Wrexham side in terms of injuries, I believe the only notable one that is out is Josh Windass, of course, coming off against West Bromwich Albion half an hour into the game. Phil Parkinson has confirmed the new attacker will be out for up to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury, which again is not ideal because he's had such a good start to the season, scoring the penalty away at Southampton, and I think he would have had a big impact on the West Bromwich Albion game. But it's looking now, it's very likely that Nathan Broadhead will come into the attack to partner Kiefer Moore up front in the front two. We obviously saw him make his first cameo in a Wrexham shirt against West Bromwich Albion, and I think if you're looking at the Welsh connection and the connection between the two of them, I think Phil Parkinson will opt for that instead of the likes of maybe a Ryan Hardy or a Sam Smith. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen more of Ryan Hardy in a Wrexham shirt already. Obviously he's come in with a lot of ambition and a lot of sort of expectation from Wrexham fans and a lot of sort of joy because we haven't seen a striker that carries his attributes that he says he has for quite a while. Consistent running up front, he likes to get in behind the defence, the blind side of the defenders, getting that obviously tight area to get the ball into the back of the net. We haven't seen that yet, and I think as well it's still undecided if new left back Libby Kikachi will be returning to the lineup following his hamstring injury he suffered in training before our game against West Brom, or whether James McLean will come back into the starting 11 to obviously continue his role in the starting 11. On the left hand side, of course, he got an assist in that game. Let me know who you would like to see start at left wing back. If Libby Kikachi is back fit, would you like to see Kikachi or would you like to see James McLean keep his place? I think as well, by the time of recording this, and I do believe by the time I finish recording, it will probably be maybe an hour after, but as things stand, Callum Doyle is yet to be confirmed by Wrexham, but I think we're going to go off this. He is going to be confirmed before Saturday, and I do believe he is going to be in the starting 11 for the game. It's a bit weird because he obviously hasn't been confirmed yet, but he's been pictured all over social media, and if it is obviously to be confirmed tonight, I can see him 100% being involved in the squad, and I think it's a perfect opportunity on the whole for Wrexham to get off the board for this season, get off the mark with our first, whether it's a point or whether it's 3 points, we'll be licking our lips and thinking this is a perfect opportunity to get 3 points on the board, get that momentum going into the next couple of games. But there's also one big question amongst Wrexham fans. Who is going to start in goal? Does Danny Ward keep his place after that sort of not iffy performance but letting in that goal at his near post? Or would you bring Arthur Okonkwo back in, who some fans are saying shouldn't have even been dropped in the first place? I would love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments. So talking next on transfer news, according to L'Equipe, we are in negotiations with Welsh international midfielder Jordan James in a deal worth around £4.5 million. There's other clubs interested in Jordan James, but a deal is likely to be sealed with Wrexham over the next coming days. He's followed Wrexham on both Twitter and on Instagram in the past 24 hours. So it looks like a deal is progressing very, very quickly. And if a deal is confirmed and if personal terms are agreed, I think this is a deal that could progress very quickly, like I've just said, possibly in the next 24, maybe 32 hours for Jordan James. And a signing that really, really excites me because obviously being a Welshman, watching Wales over the past couple of years and throughout all my lifetime, we've seen Jordan James really burst onto the scene in the past couple of years for Wales especially, and I think his performances in a Wales shirt, obviously since coming into the squad at just 19 years old, really taken that opportunity by the scruff of the neck, and I think his performances have made a lot of people keep tabs on him over the past couple of seasons. Obviously at his time at Birmingham City and then getting that move to Stade Rennes over in Ligue 1 in France, he's got 20 caps to his name, and at 21 years old, just turned 21 by the way, that is some stat, and I think that's obviously testament to how well he has done throughout his career, and I think that just does prove that he's got such a bright future ahead of him, and that future is going to be in red and white. Now looking at his career briefly, he came through the ranks at fellow Championship side Birmingham City where he made 105 appearances, 95 of those coming in the Championship, which is really, really good because we're signing a player that has that knowledge of the league before. He scored goals in this league, he's had some really good performing seasons in the Championship for Birmingham City. When he was playing for Birmingham, Stade Rennes, and obviously in a Wales shirt, he's played mostly in that centre midfield role, but if Phil Parkinson wants him to be that player that sort of sits in front of the back three, the solid back three that is, then I think he can can really do that role, sort of what Matty James does obviously at the minute for us. This is just a signing overall. There'll be a big overview of this signing when he does officially put pen to paper, with all my thoughts regarding where he'll play and how he'll add a lot to this team. But briefly, this is a signing that really excites me, and one that I think is a massive bargain. Talking on a possible departure, League One side Reading are eyeing up a move for striker Jack Marriott. Now, yeah, if we're looking on this, I wouldn't really be too surprised if Jack Marriott is to leave Wrexham on a permanent move in the next coming weeks. Purely because you're looking at Marriott's career-wise, he's turning 31 next month in September, and with the additions of Ryan Hardy, Nathan Broadhead, Kiefer Moore, Josh Windass, you're looking at Sam Smith in January. The striking options at Wrexham are so strong, and it's become harder and harder for Jack Marriott to get into the matchday squad, let alone the starting 11 over the past couple of weeks in pre-season and obviously the start of the Championship season. We've seen him yet to make an appearance in the whole of the matchday squad for Wrexham in the Championship. He was in the squad for the game against Hull City, but I think that was sort of a game where Phil Parkinson was sort of saying to the fans, look, these are the players that are either going to be squad rotation players that won't make the squad in the Championship, or players that are getting their minutes up before moving on. And I think Marriott is one of those players, and I think it's a move overall that would make a lot of sense for him and for Wrexham. He's not been in the league squad yet, like I said, in the Championship, so I think that sort of says it all. He's not in Phil Parkinson's plans for the upcoming Championship season and going forward in the games to come. And you're looking at this, it's kind of disappointing because before his injury last season, I think he broke his fibula. You know, he started the season off really well, really sharp in front of goal, had a couple of really good goals to his name last season, and the injury sort of just killed his opportunities in a Wrexham shirt off. He came back towards the end of the season, but couldn't really cement himself as a starter, and of course we've recruited so heavily going forward. And I think he's a player that really deserves to be getting regular football elsewhere. A move to Reading, an ambitious League One side, would be very good for him in my opinion. He'd get regular game time, and I'm sure he'd get the service and the goals that he needs. And finishing off the video with another bit of transfer news, another possible incoming at Wrexham. West Ham United midfielder Andy Irving to Wrexham is gaining a lot of traction on social media in the past 12 hours, with Wrexham reportedly moving ahead of Scottish giants Glasgow Rangers to sign the Scotsman. Journalist Peter Rourke has said, we're hoping to convince the Scottish midfielder to sign for Wrexham in the upcoming days and to get him signed pen to paper for Wrexham to just even further boost our ranks in the midfield. Now, we've just talked on a possible signing in Jordan James, so this is a massive signing in my opinion. I think he's a player that deserves to be playing regular football. He obviously played a couple of times last season for West Ham in the Premier League, but I think he's deserving of a move where he's going to be playing week in, week out. And if we're to see Jordan James and Andy Irving come in before the end of the transfer window, this surely sees the likes of George Evans, Elliot Lee, maybe even Andy Cannon possibly leave the club, because as time goes on, these are the players that are going to be playing regularly, and the players that I've just named are going to be getting less and less opportunities in the starting 11, and one of those I think is definitely going to leave the club, if not two of those names that I've just mentioned. So I think we need to be prepared for a very hectic next couple of weeks in the transfer window for Wrexham, because there's going to be players coming in, and I think there's going to be at least 4, 5, maybe even 6 players leave the club. So if that's not a reason to subscribe, then I don't know what is. You're going to want to turn the notification bell on as well on the channel, because you want to be first whenever this news does come out, and there'll be all the news regarding incomings and departures coming on the channel. So yeah, I think overall, if this is a signing that progresses over the next couple of days, I will do a lot more in-depth analysis on obviously Jordan James when he signs, and if Andy Irving is to become another midfielder signing for Wrexham. So yeah, keep an eye out on the channel for that. And if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. Let me know your thoughts on everything I've said on this video, and let me know, do you think Wrexham should be targeting another position for the end of the transfer window? We're likely to sign 2 midfielders and of course Callum Doyle in defender. Would you be looking to get another striker? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and until the next one, take care guys, up the Championship Reds.